We welcome the changes and openness for we believe that freedom and security go together, that the advance of human liberty can only strengthen the cause of our knowledge. Good afternoon to one and all gathered for this event. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Let's start our event by raising our hands for God Almighty by playing the prayer song. Welcome the changes in life. Look for the opportunities in every situation to learn and grow in wisdom. Now, I would like to welcome Assistant Professor Mrs. R. Kanchana Madam to render the welcome speech. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all gathered here. It's my pleasure to give welcome address for this wonderful webinar on IoT skills for industry readiness. I'm very glad to welcome our chief guest, Professor Dr. D. Jayamala, Madam, for this occasion. I am very proud to welcome our distinguished chairman, Mr. Senguttuvan sir, to this gathering. I'm privileged to welcome our respected secretary, Mrs. Hemalata Senguttuvan ma'am, to this gathering. I'm very happy to welcome our governing council member, Ms. Raghavi Senguttuvan madam, to this occasion. I am very delightful to welcome our respected principal, Mr. G. Vincent sir, to this gathering. I am happy to welcome our HOD, colleagues, and my dear students to this occasion. I conclude my welcome speech with a small quote. Limitations live only in our minds, but if we use our imagination, our possibilities become limitless. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is courage to continue that counts. Now, I would like to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. G. Vincent sir, to deliver the presidential address. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Respected Chairman, sir. Respected MD ma'am. Ms. Raghavi, the Governing Council member. And Dr. G. Jayamala, the resource person of the day for this webinar, Revitalizing the IoT Skills for the Industry Readiness. And the head of the Department of Computer Science and the staff members of Computer Science, the students of Computer Science, and I wish once again a very good afternoon. And I'm happy that I congratulate the Department of Computer Science for having chosen the right topic for the right time. And more than that, I extend my congratulations for choosing the right person for the right job. And we have Dr. Jayamala, a renowned professor and who is heading the position as a director of MCA. And nobody in my perception, and she's the right person for the topic. And I welcome you, ma'am, for this wonderful webinar.
Thank you.
And what you see on the screen was the advertisement in the year 1962. Let your fingers do the walking. And this was the tag advertising, the tag for the yellow pages. And they started, instead of going to every shop and inquire the prices and other features, and here, let your fingers take the mobile, take the directory, make the call, and get the information that you want. So this was in the year 1962. Now also the same thing happening. Let your fingers do the walking. We do take the mobile. We order even for a coffee. The coffee is ready at our doorsteps. So this is what the evolution of technology. This is what the invention. Now, if you look at the topic industry readiness, it has gone through many changes. I will not touch all in detail. 19th, 18th century, the steam engine was invented by James Watt. And from then onwards, the industry revolution started taking place. And the
Sir, mute ಆಗಿದೆ sir.
okay, Tamil Selvan sir, is it right?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Yeah, change sir. Quickly, I will finish. Then 20th century industry 2.0 started, mass production, assembly line, electrical energy started, and these technologies have aligned with industrial needs and human needs.
Sir, mute ಆಗಿದೆ.
This is the picture of a pig slaughtering house, which actually the Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motors, he inspired by this, and he started introducing the assembly line. This is the industry 2.0. The production went to different assembly line from raw material to production, finished product. Next, sir. Next, sir. Yeah. Then automation, computer, electronics, then industry. Now we are after 1990s. We are in the industry 4.0. Next one, sir. Quickly, I will complete. I will leave the stage for ma'am. So Internet of Things, which is part of 4.0. Next, sir. Yeah. Now, yes, as of January 2001, there were 4.66 billion active internet users worldwide, and 59% of them were global population. Of this, 92% has access to the internet via mobile devices. This is the latest data. And okay, some problem. Okay, 4 billion connected people, or 4 trillion revenue opportunities for the industry. See people, 25 million apps, 25 billion embedded systems, and 50 trillion GBs of data. This was the forecast few years before, and now everybody is using net. Then what is internet? Maybe if I, as a parent, after my office, if I am going down, my car opens, my GPS tells that the main road to Karur bus stand is very crowded, traffic. Then you take the diversion. Then I take the other way. Then I get the information that your grocery is ready, order is ready. I pick up from supermarket. When I reach home, main gate is opened. The coffee is automatically ready, and my AC is powered on, and fine home theater, the music is on. So what I conclude is, if everything that can be connected, that will be connected. So using the sensor, using the user interface, using the data, if all the materials, all the things human to materials are connected, I think we are in the process of, or we are in the realm of IoT, Internet of Things. So this is a right topic, right webinar at the right time. I really, once again, I congratulate the Department of Computer Science for having organized for right topic, at the same time, right human, I mean, a resource person for the topic. So I wish all the students and staff members to get more number of knowledge. You expand your knowledge horizon. I hope that it will happen after listening to the wonderful speech of our chief guest, Jayamala ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ananda.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful thoughts. The secret to the success is good leadership. And good leadership is all about making the lives of your team members. Now, I would like to welcome our head of the department, Mr. B. Gopinath, sir, for introducing the resource person. Welcome, sir.
So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to introduce Dr. G. Jayamala ma'am. Dr. G. Jayamala ma'am is a renowned professor and the director of MCA, Fatima College Autonomous, Madurai. She is having around 21 years of teaching experience with various positions. She is an eminent scholar and able administrator. Now she is holding the director of MCA in Fatima College, Madurai. Under her guidance, the department is growing with new heights. Dr. G. Jayamala ma'am's area of specialization is artificial intelligence, software engineering, optimization, and software testing. She is a reputed alumni of Fatima College, Madurai. She has completed her MCA in Madurai Kamraj University and PhD in Anna University, Chennai. She is a certified WebSphere developer from IBM USA. She is holding various positions in Fatima College like coordinator of ERP, Web Development Committee, IQAC member, and NAC Validation Committee. She has presented over 20 papers in reputed national and international journals. She had published 32 research articles and 9 chapters in various books. She had published a complete book, Object-Oriented and Design using UML by Tata McGraw-Hill Publications. She had produced 3 PhD scholars and currently 2 students are pursuing under her guidance. She is acting as a reviewer in IEEE, Elsevier, and INS, Springer, IGI, and IJM journals. Dr. D. Jayamala has won Outstanding Women Award by Venus International Foundation. She had completed a UGC project worth of rupees 10 lakhs on AI and machine learning. She is a lifetime member of Computer Society of India, Association of Computer Machinery, and Indian Science Congress. We are very privileged to have Dr. G. Jayamala ma'am to take this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A lamp does not speak. It introduces itself through its light. Achievers never expose themselves, but their achievements expose them to the world. Now, I would like to welcome our resource person, Professor Dr. D. Jayamala Madam, to take over the session. Welcome, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. I think somebody's mic should be muted, I believe. Yes. So I am very happy to be here in Valur College. And when Bhuvaneshwari Madam has called me and asked about this, definitely I've said that, okay, it is a very important and a crucial topic that every student should know. And so that even I know I have asked her to join my students also, so that they will also get some insight, because this has been dealt outside the curriculum, and definitely they cannot take all these from the textbooks. So I have requested her, and finally our students have also joined here, and thank you for that. And thank you for the nice introduction. And so are you able to see my presentation? Bhuvaneshwari Madam, are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this particular revitalizing IoT skills for industry readiness is the very, very important and the key topic that everybody, because as a student now we have the most important and crucial period of pandemic, and everywhere the jobs market is being either lacking the actual skills, or they are not ready to give the job to the freshers. So in order to get ready for the industry's requirements, and in order to fill the gap between the academia and the industry, we need to provide certain things. And that important thing is IoT skills. So here in today's presentation, I would like to share with dear students about how to revitalize your existing IoT skills. Because whenever we are talking about IoT, the general term, we'll be saying, okay, that is nothing but Internet of Things. That's all. And if I have this and that, then I can very well create one particular application. but will it be really worthful when you are going for the industry? So for that, the today's session will be eye opener for everybody here. And I'm Dr. D. Jayamala, the Director of MCA, Fatima College, Madurai. And the topic that I'm going to deal with you today is revitalizing the IoT skills for industry readiness. So why IoT for organizations and industries? So generally, IoT has opened a new world of data for organizations. So everybody of you knows that, I know that IoT is nothing but having a number of sensors. Definitely the IoT devices will be provided with a number of sensors. But apart from that, whatever the device that we have on the internet or whatever the devices that we have on the network that can be connected together, and you can have that as a complete Internet of Things. But anyhow, the Internet of Things, when we are talking about, we'll be talking about sensors. So the sensors can be used to proactively monitor and maintain pipelines and workloads. So nowadays, the organizations are looking into the IoT devices as not simple, a simple device, right? So it has to do some real-time activities like temperature monitoring, maybe the current pipeline type of the gas distribution, the recent network load. So what is the current network and so on. They can take instant decision making. So as far as real-time systems are considered, the instant decision making is necessary to avoid the accidents and outrages. And say a typical application is your patient's monitoring system, in which the sensors are provided to find the current status of the patient. Probably that may be the temperature, the pressure, or the current BP level, the current oxygen level of the patient, and so on. So these things will help the a particular industry or a hospital or an organization to take appropriate decisions. So IoT is really playing a role in these kinds of nowadays, that is Industry 4.0 kind of situation. And we'll see how to develop these kind of IoT devices and what sort of skills may be required from each of the students here, so that it can meet the requirement of the industry. And also IoT is used in smart decision making. So you know that nowadays very much the IoT devices are used for customer satisfaction. So you know that you can control your electric appliances in your home even 2 kilometers away from your hometown. It is possible because of the home automation system. And the intelligent decision making is used in the refrigerators. If we have a sensor-based refrigerator, then that will automatically monitor what is the current milk level and what is the available stock of butter and other items, so that it can easily monitor what is the current status of the various things in the refrigerator, and instantly it will automatically take the decision of is it the time to reorder, and based on that it will do the order to the appropriate shops. Probably if you have stored those informations in your IoT device, it will automatically send the shopping request, and ultimately you will get back the items even without having the physical visit to the particular shop. And but there is more to the IoT than the lifestyle enhancement of the vaccine. When you are considering our industry's requirements, right? So you need to go in for making the organizations to be complete automated. So for what you need to collect and analyze data from the sensors, from the manufacturing equipment, from the weather stations, from the smart meters, and probably the delivery trucks and so on, because you want everything to be automatically being monitored. And if there is anything problem happened in between, the right decisions should be taken by the IoT device itself. So that is exactly necessary. So what is needed? In which part we are lagging behind, and in way we can feel that. So you can see that the IoT data analytics in industries. So this we call it as the term as IoT edge computing, because that is the buzzword nowadays used in industries, because they want instant decision making. Suppose if you have an IoT device and that has been equipped with the sensors, and the sensor has collected the data from your particular machinery or from your pipeline or etc., And when you are, sending this data to cloud to do some decision making process and then returning back the response, this will take some time. That time may not be the right way to deal with some critical situations. So in that case, the people are going in for edge computing, in which you need to have your analytics part also in your IoT gateway itself. So there, the software will automatically take the decision of, am I going to do now raising up an alarm, or am I going to take a report that to be sent to the particular manager through the notification alert, or I have to simply make the entire machine by lifting the lever. So likewise, the instant decision making needs to be done. So for that, nowadays the people are going in for IoT edge computing, and you can see that as you people, the students, when you are going in for industries with IoT skills, you may have the different parts in which you can have the different level of knowledge. Say for example, in this diagram, you can see that several IoT devices are here, and these IoT devices can gather the data. So suppose if you have sufficient knowledge in developing your IoT software to gather data from the sensors, then you are now ready to be placed in industry. So you must know that how the sensor is taking the data from the and how that data presentation can be converted into the interpretable form. If that is being done by you, then definitely you are actually ready. And the second part, you can see the data display, right? So if you know how this collected data to be interpreted to provide different types of reports, probably by means of some graphs, or by means of some analytical reports, or by means of some decision making sort of charts. If you are able to do that, right? So this data should be stored somewhere. So naturally, as this data is huge and the data will be data, so that needs to be stored in the cloud for later purpose. So if you know how to store the collected data from the sensors to be stored in the cloud, then you are now eligible. So you have the SaaS ability, right? So storage as a service. And here you can, next part is in-depth analysis. You have the data, but now the next in-depth analysis. Suppose you want to take some intelligent decision making. Say for example, you have collected the sensor information from the customer's satisfactory level. Now you want to know, right? So at what point of time the particular my customer's satisfaction index is very low, and at what point of time this is high, and what is the gap, and in what way this happiness or the satisfactory level can be increased. So those kind of things you need in-depth analysis. So suppose if you have the knowledge on data analytics, then you really have a role in industry. And you can also go for statistical inferencing. So if you know that how to use your R tool or your other statistical analysis tools to collect this cloud data and make some statistical analysis, then definitely you will get a role. And finally, if you are knowing about machine learning algorithms, because you need to know classify your data, you need to provide some decision makings without any intervention of any other people, then you have a role. So this particular diagram that has represented you the different opportunities that you have if you have some knowledge about in any of these areas. So another sample application that I would like to explain you is a temperature sensor at a manufacturing unit, and that has been built to be the intelligent monitoring for production management. So the device is now having a real-time feedback, right? So this real-time feedback will get the temperature, it will check it, and then it will, based on the current temperature level, it has to do some intelligent decision making, whether to send the data for storing or to send some alarm. This way, you are making the application to be intelligent. So for that, you need machine learning algorithm, definitely. So now the benefit is, instead of making the latency time to be very high, you are making instant decision. Okay, so suppose if you have the knowledge about how to apply your machine learning algorithm to interpret the gathered data, I know software to be written, then definitely the technology part will play a role. But apart from that, as I told you, you may need to know how to project your data in various forms. So you need to know the UI development knowledge. Probably that can be your PHP page. Probably you want to have some scripting knowledge so that the gathered data can be immediately analyzed by means of your JavaScript. Likewise, the technology also plays a role. And the research part, so that's what I have told you, the statistical analysis, the data analytics part, and probably your machine learning. So all these three elements are combined together in order for you to become an IoT engineer. So it is necessary that you people as students look up into all these different elements and make sure that you are competent enough so that your role to be highlighted in the market. So the focus areas for an IoT professional are the hardware part. So naturally the hardware should be there, right? And then the networking, because all the devices must be connected together. So you must know how the network is and how to pass the information from one device to another. And then the application design. So naturally the application design should be done either by means of your LED display or by means of some reports automatically being generated. And then the security aspect, because the data is collected from the surrounding, your sensor data will be now transmitted to various other locations, right? So in that case, security will really be a problem. So you have to assess as an IoT engineer, you have to be more careful about how to handle this important and personalized data. And then the last thing is the data and the AI. Okay, so the data analytics part and the AI are also playing a crucial part. So as an IoT professional, if you want to make yourself to be present in the industry, then you must know about all these important focus areas. Then we'll see about some more things, right? The skills needed to excel in IoT. So the very first thing is machine learning and AI. Okay, so probably if you people are not aware of all these, you can very well take that as your additional part of a study. You have several, my online courses available. MOOC courses are there. You can enroll yourself in either or artificial intelligence course. And probably if it is there in the curriculum, then you can put forth your attention towards how to develop your machine learning algorithms or how to use the existing machine learning algorithms so that you can make intelligent decision making. And then JavaScript and Python, so everybody knows about it, I believe. And then knowledge about how sensors work. So you must know how the sensors are working. And UI-centric approach, Node.js development, big data, security, and then the cloud computing part, the mobile hardware environment, etc. So we'll see my work. So machine learning is the basic skill required in IoT. Why? Because the data is huge. The sensor has collected so much of data, right? So that must be collected, analyzed, and extract the insights, right? So this huge amount of data should be cleaned first of all, so that you can get only the relevant data, and from that you can get some insights on what exactly the type of report you need. And you should be able to identify patterns and structures in the data received to predict the outcomes. And with increasing complexity, AI is also being used nowadays, right? So because they want to take some intelligent decision making apart from your machine learning, sort of algorithmic analysis. But here you need something like the intelligence part, in which this algorithms will automatically take the decisions. And the second thing is JavaScript and Python. So now you may have the wonder, right? So this is an IoT device. So why you should concentrate on JavaScript? The reason is you have been equipped with your IoT device, but this IoT device's data needs to be projected through some web-based displays. Right? So in that case, you need to write your functionalities in JavaScript only. So the data that is collected through your IoT devices needs to be now analyzed, and maybe your functionalities must have been written in JavaScript if you want to project your data in web-based forms. And the Python, so Python is the nowadays the very important language that everybody needs to know, because that is going to be used for down the time of 10 years, right? So naturally, you need to have the Python language also in order to write your machine learning algorithms or to use your various statistical analysis packages. For that, you need to know about Python. And the sensors knowledge, so naturally, you must know how the various sensors are working and how to collect the data from the sensors and how this data can be interpreted. So all these must have been known. And UI-centered approach, so as I have told you, the user interface should be designed by you, and that user interface should be decided by you, right? So in what way I'm going to project my result? So am I going to simply show a report, or am I going to show that as a chart, or am I going to IoT device will be behaving simply the simulated environment? Likewise, you have to decide, and based on that, you have to design your UI. And Node.js, so Node.js is definitely used and preferred for building your IoT applications. The IoT engineers should be skilled enough in working with all the open source environments. There are several open source tools available for IoT software development. You can make use of them. And these environments use server-side web development, and naturally you need to have Node.js development knowledge. And big data, so this I have already told you, because the sensors collected data will be huge, right? So those voluminous data to be handled as big data only. So big data analytics and big data handling, storing of big data, everything you must know. The security aspect, I have told you that the security and privacy are really the matter, because you are going to collect the important information. Suppose if you are providing your IoT device for patient monitoring system, then definitely the patient's information will be personalized, okay? So that should not be leaked somewhere without the knowledge of the patient. So in that case, you must be very careful about the security aspect. And GPS systems, because you may have your IoT device here, but this needs to be connected to your mobile devices app. In that case, you need the GPS. Okay, so the smart vehicles, the logistics companies, the wearable devices, etc. Right? See, all these are requiring other devices being connected geographically. And cloud computing, so naturally the data that is stored in the cloud must be analyzed. So you must know the data storage to be done in the cloud. Okay, so the SaaS. And maybe if you want a certain other devices to be used, then you must know IaaS, right? Infrastructure as a service. Likewise, you must know how to apply the various cloud computing techniques so that you can make use of your IoT device to be the industry ready. And the mobile hardware environment, so naturally the hardware is the core part, okay? So the hardware environment may be anything, right? So that can be your wearable device, such for the patient monitoring system, or that can be something like a manufacturing unit based IoT. So in whatever may be the case, there may be some other hardware which you can communicate, right? In some cases, you may need to send that data to the mobile device. So in that, I know critical cases, you must know how these different devices needs to be connected and how the data can be transmitted between these devices. The next thing is to know industrial IoT. Okay, so the industrial IoT, that is IIoT, term that is defined as machines, computers, and people. Intelligent industrial operations using advanced data analytics for transformational business outcomes. So nowadays, the people in the industries are looking for IoT professionals in order to meet the requirements of Industry 4.0, and even now we are talking about Industry 5.0. For all these, the requirements will be huge, right? So what you need, you want the machines, computers, and people to be connected using various intelligent industrial operations by means of advanced data analytics in order to provide transformational business applications. So you need to now concentrate on this industrial IoT. So in industrial IoT, so you need everything to be connected. So the entire logistics system will be connected. And these are the 4 pillars of your connected logistics system: the IT security, communication systems, supply chain monitoring systems, and vehicle tracking. Suppose if you have ordered my particular product in eBay or in Flipkart or in some other Amazon or something like that, in this particular, you want every aspect of your products movement to be monitored. And suppose if I have the very proper way of connected logistics system, then I will be achieving the intelligent way of automation. So not simply sending some message from one place to another. If I have been equipped with the IoT device with sensors, and the sensor data is being used for following up the various levels of the particular logistics, then I will be very much aware that this is where the particular product is. I have ordered that 3 days before, but now I want to know what is the status. That has been immediately provided to me. That is because I have all these being provided by means of a sensor-based and IoT-based intelligent information system. So the industrial Internet of Things in industry context, so as the principal sir has stated, so this cyber physical systems, it comprises of enabling the IoT. So the cyber physical systems, in the sense, nowadays we are talking about too many important automation systems. A typical thing is, suppose if you want something like a satellite launching system, you want something like an atomic power generation system in which you need everything to be automated. So in that case, you need to monitor everything remotely. Okay, so you can always be there to monitor all the cases. Rather, the machine part, the cyber physical systems part must have been monitored regularly without any accompanying of intermittent decision-making processes. Rather, the system's health status will be monitored, and then based on that, that might automatically do the tracking of what is the current status of the particular machine's part. And then it has to do the remote diagnosis, right? Suppose if something has went wrong, right, in an atomic power generation plant, then a human cannot immediately go on the do any corrections, right? So in that case, the IoT device that you have equipped with the intelligent decision making algorithm should automatically do the diagnosis process. Either it has to raise up an alarm and make the plant to be completely shut down, or it has to simply close down, or close down the particular temperature part of the unit and make the coolant to be enabled. Likewise, it has to do some dynamic decision making. And the remote services, suppose if some particular expert is there in US, then his instant help can be received, and the IoT device will do the automatic diagnostics. See, all these things are being done by means of your IoT. So if you people have been equipped kind of sound knowledge, then definitely you will be industry ready to meet the requirements. And some of the other key areas of IIoT are the smart factory applications, smart warehousing, predictive and remote maintenance, right? The freight, goods and transportation monitoring, connected logistics that we have seen now, smart metering and smart grid, smart environmental solutions, even the livestock monitoring can also be done. And then the industrial security systems, the energy consumption optimization, the asset tracking and smart logistics, even the temperature monitoring. Closed down, right? So that a human cannot always go and monitor what is the current CO done by means of your IIoT by using the corresponding sensors. And the second thing is about the healthcare, right? So apart from your industrial IoT, now healthcare is almost being equipped. So you know that the current pandemic, right? This particular COVID-19, the patients who were in the ICU, right? So they could not be even met by the person's relatives themselves. Even the doctors and nurses could not okay, so and you have are you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Right, okay. So you have something like your patient position sensor. I must see all these are really important, right? So the blood pressure sensor, the current oxygen level sensor. See, all these have been provided by means of some wearable format, and the sensors will automatically collect the data from the patient's. My personal body care, and this will be now sent to the personal digital assistant. So this has been now equipped with some algorithms, and the data is now collected, and based on the data this will be sent to the appropriate different places, right? Suppose if the patient's condition is something alarming, then it will automatically send the notification to the
Ma'am?
nurse and emergency. Yes, sir.
This screen present all, ma'am.
Screen is not presented.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'll check.
Okay, ma'am.
But I think it is in but I am in presentation mode only.
இன்னொரு தடவை வேணா செக் பண்ணிட்டு திருப்பி வெளியில வந்துட்டு திருப்பி ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிட்டு திருப்பி இன்னொரு தடவை இது பண்ணுங்க.
Right, I'll do the check. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now see that. Okay. Are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, are you able to see it? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
madam. Yes, madam.
Okay, so yes, okay. So the health.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Right, sir. Okay, so selected and to the personal digital assistant, this can be forwarded to various other places for the proper decision making. Say, for example, if the particular patient's my status is very critical, then it can call my emergency line by forwarding that to the nurse or and suppose if it wants certain other criteria to be checked, then that will be sent to the medical doctor for taking up further decisions, right? Suppose if you have corresponding medical server, then the data about the patient will be stored in this server for later purpose, the historical data. So likewise, you can make use of this IoT devices. And if you people are knowing about these different kinds of sensors and how this data being collected, nowadays everybody is using my smart watch and other smart wearables, because these are provided with various sensors and that will automatically monitor your current status, right? So if you people are knowing about this and how to make sure that this data can be manipulated so that you can make sure that the corresponding immediate decisions can be taken. And apart from that, you can apply this for business applications also. So I have already told you that you can make sure that your customer's satisfaction level can be assessed. And based on that assessment, you can improve the current scenario of your organization. And a typical example is an IBM Watson's tone analyzer. So it is a typical application that is meant for identifying whether a particular organization's customers are really satisfied with the service. And one typical example is a hotel management that is spreading its branches all over the world. They have used this IBM Watson's tone analyzer in order to assess the satisfaction level of their customers. So generally, when you want to know the customer's satisfaction level, you will send some questionnaires and you will ask their feedback and likewise. Many of the cases, the customers may not be willing to say their responses immediately. So probably if you are urging them, then they'll simply choose 1 or 5 or any value they'll choose and they'll simply submit the feedback form. This is what happening, right? So from those questionnaires, you cannot even, come to a conclusion that, okay, the customer's satisfaction level is high or low or intermittent. So in order to do all these, what you need to go for something like a voice-based analysis. So if this particular portal management, what they have done is, they have installed audio and the video, my camera that is fixed on the table. And customers came and handed over the key to the receptionist and vacating the room. They may be talking, right? So the way in which they are talking, the voice in which they are giving their response, right? Based on that, they have classified that into different parameters. So this parameter is being automatically analyzed by the IBM's Watson APIs. So what that has done, that has taken this my voice, my tone attributes, and that has classified that into 3 different categories. One is happiness, the other one is angry, and the other one is sad. So likewise, they have classified from their voice, and based on that, the analytics is being done. So here it works in this way, right? So they have classified that into 3 set of tone attributes like happiness, sadness, or anger. And based on the tone analysis that is provided by the IBM Watson Tone Analyzer API, they have been able to classify. So this particular voice is meant for this and that. And the Watson IoT platform is using that, and it has used Bluemix service, and it has used an IoT query engine, which we call Edge SQL, that will automatically take the queries such as what are the number of angry transactions between the in the customer's voice, and maybe in a particular city like home, what is the happiness level. Likewise, you can get the queries, and you can write the queries, and you can get the results from the queries. So now I wish to show you one particular IoT development platform, that is IBM Watson IoT platform. This you can very well experiment as a student, and if you are knowing about this IBM Watson IoT development platform, then definitely you can put that in your resume also. You can simulate your IoT development, and you can even apply your data analytics part, and you can even write your algorithms in Python, and you can generate your results. So because I have worked with this IBM Watson, I wish to showcase that to the students so that the students community can be benefited. So here you can see, this is the screen of IBM Watson IoT platform. So for getting into this IBM Watson IoT platform, what you need to do is, you must enroll yourself in IBM Cloud. Okay, the very first step is, you must enroll yourself in IBM Cloud. It's a very simple registration process. You can simply register yourself. Immediately you will get an email, and by clicking that verification mail, you will be now created with an account in IBM Cloud. In IBM Cloud, you have various services available, and you can choose IBM Watson IoT platform. So when you are clicking that IBM Watson IoT platform, it will open a window like this. So now your IoT platform is opened for you. So you have to launch it. Okay. So this will provide you various environments that will show you various IoT development environments. The notable one is Node-RED. Node-RED is the one which is being universally used for developing some high level of IoT applications. So you can very well use that, right? So Node-RED environment setup. So for that, you give some key, also some sample keys are available, so that you can use for making this Node-RED environment setup to be done. And once you have set up that, then the Node-RED launch will be done. So once this Node-RED environment is launched, then you'll get this particular screen. Okay, so Node-RED on IBM Cloud. And here you can see, this has showed you the various IoT devices, the sensors, and everything. You can simply plug and play these components, and very well experiment that by simulating. Okay, so you can see the Node-RED environment is shown here. So you can drag and drop the various components. So here you see the IBM IoT, and then you can plug and play the other components also. So you can also add some of the devices already available from the existing tool. Okay, so the IBM Watson IoT environment itself has a number of existing devices also, right? You can browse them and you can add them into your plug and play environment. So here you can see you can choose that and you can add it. So here you can see I want to add a gauge. Okay, so I want to have a simulated environment in which I want to monitor 3 different parameters: the pressure, and the other attribute. So for that, I want 3 gauges. Okay, so I can simply plug and play the various gauges, and I can set the properties like this. And here you can see that how this can be done in a step-by-step manner. And you can put up all these 3 different sensors, and you can write the name of the 3 gauges as the different parameter values, right? So now you can see, right? So here you see this has been simulated for an IoT device for patient monitoring system. So instead of directly making the device be deployed to the patient, what I have done is I have simulated that as a IoT device in the IoT in the IBM Watson's IoT platform, right? So the pulse rate, the temperature, and heart rate. So here, based on that, it has to do some intelligent decision making. So for that, in your previous setup, right, the property setup, I can give the minimum and maximum range also, right? And I have given a Python code in such a way that this will automatically, increment the data values, right? So randomize the data values, and so based on that, it will either show different color-based, data indication. So if it is going above 90, that will be showed with the color. If it is within 79, then that will be given with the green, and so on, right? So likewise, I can get to the different, the pulse or the temperature or the heart rate my values, and I can write my Python code to say that this is what currently the temperature level is, this is what the pulse rate is, so the patient's status is crucial, or that it is normal. Likewise, you can write your code. So you can very well download this also, right? IBM IoT F0.4.0, right? So this project description is provided, you can download it. And other than that, you can learn various other platforms for IoT development. Eclipse IoT, IBM Watson. IBM Watson, I've already showed you how to do that. And then you have Arduino, right? And then Node-RED. You have Particle, Car, then Blink IoT platform, Device Hive, ThinkWorks, and more other platforms are also available, right? So Horizon, that is an open source Linux-based IoT device development platform. Microsoft Azure IoT Kits is there, Raspbian, Device Hive, OpenSCADA, Home Assistant, etc. are available. Okay. So now let me conclude my today's session. Okay. So ask you people, right? The young people, young students. So you will be now knowing, right? So how the IoT is going to rule the world in the near future. So if you have the correct IoT skill set with you, then definitely you will also be placed in well-defined industries, right? So embedded software is more important than ever. Every device will need to have some intelligence in it instead of simply producing some automated results. And embedded software is making machines to be smarter. And so it is time that you need to combine AI, ML, data analytics on the cloud apart from your simple IoT device. And the new capabilities in Industry 4.0 and IoT that have made the industry to be smart enough. So it is essential that you must have the right skills to track and trace, structural health monitoring, remote diagnosis and control of the various connected systems, the cyber physical systems. Skills. To the right skills and expertise is a real problem. Okay, so lacking skills is not just one of the intentions, but also you need to have very high skill for IoT, right? I told you, right? AI and ML, the data analytics part of how to take some decisions And a lack of skilled workers also was mentioned in the Morgan Stanley's Automation World Industrial Automation Survey, in which 24% of the respondents from the various industries, they have responded that they have a lack of skilled workers. And there is a lack of highly specific skills in general. At the same time, it might also be necessary to look more outside to get access to the right skills. So it is time to revitalize your IoT skills to raise yourself to industrial standards. And I believe that this will definitely happen. That you are equipped with all these skills. And I hope that this presentation has helped you. And I thank you, the organizers, for making this session to be a successful one. And any queries from the students here, you can ask.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful information. Dear participants, if there are any queries, now you may ask with the Dr. Jayamala, madam. Dear participants, if there are any queries, you may just raise your hands and ask.
Yes, any queries from the student side? You can unmute and you can ask your doubts. Yes, no doubts at all.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Dear participants, you may receive your feedback link in the chat box. All should fill the form. You should get your e-certificates through the registered mail. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful information you have shared. Now I would like to call upon Mr. S. Bhubala Dandaratbadni, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks. Welcome, sir. Now the form link is available in the chat box. All the participants should fill the form link. So now I hand over the session to Bhubalan, sir.
Good evening.
Sir.
Good evening to one and all. It's given me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event. To all dignitaries assembled here, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. D. Jayamola, who honored this function with his inspirational webinar. I would like to thank our management, our beloved principals, staff members, and participants for making this function as a grand success. Once again, I thanks one and all for patient listening. Please fill the feedback form, which is available in chat box. You will get the e-certificates once you submit the feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's all join our hands for the national anthem.